Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we're back with another Boston Celtics video. Today, Sam and I are talking about Taylor Jenkins. Former Memphis Grizzlies head coach was fired with, I believe, 9 games left in the regular season last year. It was either 9 or 10, I think. In that range of games remaining, he was fired at the very end of March last year, and he was at Celtics practice today. Celtics' very first practice of training camp of the season. Taylor Jenkins was there in attendance. Some people talked about it. I asked Xavier Tillman about it. I asked Luca Garza about it. Luca Garza said he didn't have much, but Tillman did. He played with, or under, I should say, Taylor Jenkins in Memphis. They had a relationship. Said it was nice to see him. Gave some more insight too, but it was cool to see a very familiar face in the NBA world at Celtics practice this year.
A familiar face, for the most part, like really good coach in Memphis. They were very successful under him. They overachieved a couple seasons when he was the coach, especially like early in Ja's career when those teams were still pretty young and a lot of those guys were still on the up and up rather than established all NBA, all defensive level guys in Ja and also Jaren Jackson Jr. But seeing him at the Celtics facility is just interesting. I don't know if the Celtics are necessarily looking to add to their staff. I think if they are or were, they would have already done so. But I think one thing is for certain, like Joe Mazzulla loves to pick the brains of everybody. Like he's always looking to learn. He doesn't matter who it is. Taylor Jenkins happens to be a basketball coach, but it could have been anybody in there. It could have been like the chess master that Joe's friends with from South America. Like he loves the UFC. I'm sure he does plenty of talking with fighters about how you mentally stay in the fight, even if things aren't going well. Like that is the Joe Mazzulla thing, is just trying to be a sponge and learn from everyone. So I'm sure him and Taylor Jenkins had very interesting basketball related conversations. In relation to the Taylor Jenkins piece of this, was there anything specific that the Grizzlies were good at during his like heyday, right? Like when he's the best, like that the Celtics may be trying to implement? Like that's the first thing that I think of. Like what were those teams known for? And if you don't have the answer, it's okay because I
I
don't.
don't
That's why
know.
I'm
I, I
asking.
think I think they've been a pretty good defensive team throughout the course of their career, or at least during his time there. Um, for what it's worth, I don't know how much this is Jenkins joining the Celtics. I asked Xavier Tillman, like, what's he doing here? And he said Taylor Jenkins is popping around the NBA a little bit. He's going from team to team, just seeing how different teams operate. He's taking the year off from coaching, is what Tillman told me. He's spending more
Mm.
time with his family, and he's trying to just kind of learn what other teams around the league do before maybe jumping back in next season. That said, it's not dissimilar to kind of what happened with Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff Van Gundy
Yes.
was a special advisor to the Celtics the year they won the title, and then 1 year later, he was back on an NBA bench with the LA Clippers. So he was kind of itching to get back into it. Um, as far as what the Grizzlies were good at and what the Celtics could learn, I feel like there could be a piece of it of the fast pace, running gun. Obviously, you have faster guys in Memphis and John Morant, and obviously Jaren Jackson's pretty athletic, but they also ran a lot of double big lineups. Like Jackson Jr. played a lot of power forward next to obviously Zach Edey this year, which Taylor Jenkins started the season, or last year, I should say, as the head coach, and he had Steven Adams there for a while. So maybe that's something that they're looking, into. But for the most part, I mean, I think anytime you get to learn from another NBA head coach, as you mentioned, Joe Mazzulla loves learning. It's a positive.
He's always going to be wanting to learn from somebody. And Taylor Jenkins taking the year off makes sense. Like his exit from Memphis was so bizarre. Obviously, it wasn't really his choice. He was fired, but he was fired with like a week left in the season, right before the playoffs. Yes, Memphis was subpar last year. It wasn't the type of seasons they had in mind. John Morant also is notably unhealthy, so that's not really Taylor Jenkins' fault. The best player on your team missing a lot of games is going to keep you from hitting your internal goals for success. That's like a given. So maybe they didn't believe in him in terms of the way the players felt about him. Did they respect him enough? Had he lost the locker room? Had his voice kind of started to fall on deaf ears? That kind of thing. And that's possible. I think coaches get put in this weird place where after a while guys start to just get sick of them or not want to hear them, and the NBA is a really weird league for this because the players make so much more money than the coaches do. So like it boils down to how can your boss tell you what to do if you're making more money than them or if you're more important than them. And maybe that's a little bit of what happened in Memphis, but if I remember correctly, guys are pretty pissed about what had happened.
Yeah, it was weird. It was kind of a drawn out process with Jenkins in Memphis. They let go a bunch of his staff from the season prior before
Yes,
last
that's
year.
right.
And so he was just kind of the lone wolf, and he obviously went through the entire season. I worked on a Xavier Tillman piece last year, and I talked to some of the coaches that were let go. And I mean, I didn't talk about that. I was talking about X, but um, they spoke about their time in Memphis a little bit, and it was just a very weird situation that ownership decided to, clean house in the way they did, in the GM and everybody decided to clean house in the way that they did before, letting Taylor Jenkins try to coach the team throughout the year, just to let him go with 11 or 9 or however many games left. Um, I think I saw something along the lines of like John Morant wanting to play a specific style of basketball, and the Grizzlies playing a different style to what he wanted. And so there was something there. But then you look at all the quotes that came out after Jenkins was fired, and it was all like this is ridiculous. This is crazy. Like John Morant showing his love for Taylor Jenkins, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bay, and everybody. I mean, Xavier Tillman told me the last time that he saw Taylor Jenkins was at Desmond Bane's wedding 2 years ago. Like
Mm.
it was very clearly a coach who was close with his players, but um, I don't know what it'll do for the Celtics. I don't know what it'll do for anybody else. Maybe, next season, if there isn't a job that Taylor Jenkins, lands with based on how the NBA coaching carousel shakes out, Boston could be a landing spot for him to be a top assistant. But they already have a pretty strong coaching staff. Like you look down the line, Sam Cassell has been in head coaching conversations for a while, yet it seems like he's just kind of happy with the Celtics as a top assistant. You've got guys like Ross McMahon's, like DJ McClay, like Matt Reynolds, Emil Jefferson. You've got Tony Dobbins is just a very strong coaching staff up and down. Not to say that there isn't a place for Taylor Jenkins, nor that the Celtics won't have any movement themselves, but it certainly would be a strong addition to an already very strong coaching staff. And perhaps Taylor Jenkins could look for a place where he would be the lead assistant if he doesn't end up finding a head coaching job next year.
Yeah, and to bring it back to the Celtics specifically, we've heard a lot about they are working hard to get fast. I guess we can tie that into the coaching talk here. It sounds like the Celtics are just going to play fast this year. Peyton Pritchard talked about it at the podium yesterday. He's like, I want to go faster. Numerous players have come out and talked about what the practices have been like, what the tune-up has been. I think Xavier Tillman said like he's lost weight and has like considerably gotten in better condition through the
Lost
work
12
that the
pounds.
Celtics have been doing. Like pretty
Mhm.
incredible stuff. I know Luka Garza told you guys today that he had busted his ass at practice too, and he's really enjoying playing for Joe Mazzulla. So I
Mhm.
am so interested to see what the Celtics look like in that first preseason game, because with a different roster, that play style can be just so easy to pick up on. Like, just remember when Missoula first kind of took over and leaned into the threes, it was like, man, they're taking a lot of threes, like way more than they used to. Maybe we'll be noticing how fast and how eager they are to get up and down the court as they go into this new season, which, by the way, by the day, I'm getting more and more excited about from a I think they might be better than we think standpoint. But we'll see.
Mm, the Kool-Aid's coming.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's in
I'm
the pit.
excited to see how training camp plays out. It was very cool to see Taylor Jenkins at practice today. I don't know if he'll be there tomorrow or throughout training camp. Just know that he was there for this one. But let us know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps up the morning after each game. And other videos like these are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics as we build up to the season. Stick around, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. We're on Spotify and Apple too. You can find all pods and recaps there as well. So if you just want those, follow. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. As you're listening to this, Jack and I are recording later today. So get them in. HBTCpod. What are you looking forward to as the first preseason game grows closer and closer? We're on social at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.